Okay, here we go. Hello, Smarky Family. DJ here, alongside
Liam Landry.
Alright, and we just watched the greatest Royal Rumble ever from Saudi Arabia. And it was, we'll get to how it was. First match was John Cena versus Triple H. You want to go first?
Yeah, this was an okay match, but I thought there was some sloppy points between them. I don't know if they weren't working right together. It didn't come off as good as you thought that these two wrestlers would go.
Yeah, you are right there, but I'm kind of glad it went a little bit more back and forth than a typical John Cena match. Because a typical John Cena match is where John Cena does almost absolutely nothing and then wins the match with just a couple of moves. But I did like how Triple H countered out of some of his moves into moves of his own. Even did a pedigree to John Cena, which was really cool to see. So, yeah, but I didn't think it was worth it.
I mean, I guess it was fine enough, but it wasn't really great. It wasn't good enough it wasn't the best these two could do. So I don't know what was really there. So, I guess obviously not worth it.
Yeah, it really wasn't too bad. It wasn't worth it, sorry. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it was more like something like an average Raw match,
Not something for this big of an event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Next we had the... Oh, are you going to say something else? Okay. Next we had the Cruiserweight matchup between Kalisto versus Cedric Alexander,
that
who's the
was...
champion.
And, by the way, John... Who won?
John Cena won.
John Cena won. I don't know if we said that. Cedric Alexander did retain, but it was very entertaining. It went back and forth a lot. I think the Cruiserweight is kind of like second in line to WWE right now because they're just phenomenal with their matches from what I hear from Issa, and the pay-per-views in this event just proves it.
Yeah, there was a lot of great action. These two really went all out with a lot of high-speed movement and all, but there was still some points where there was some ring psychology where Cedric tried to slow it down, tried to get Kalisto off his game, So there was some more psychology elements too. So it was really nice, really well set up, and I thought it was worth it.
Yes, it was really worth it. So yeah, check that out.
Right. Next was the Raw Tag Team Championship match between the Woken Universe and the Bar.
I'll let you go first on this one, since you like the Woken Universe.
So the Woken Universe ended up winning, and part of it was kind of out because I don't think the Saudi Arabia crowd was really getting the whole idea of the Woken Universe, so they weren't really that into the match. And above all, it was just pretty good. I wouldn't say bad, but it wasn't exceptional. At least I didn't feel
it was worth it. Was it worth it to watch? I guess what you're getting at, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you know what the Woken Universe is and you know who the Bar is, then you'll get the match per se.
Yeah.
Because you kind of, what my perception of the Woken Universe is, you have to kind of know who they are to know how their tag team system works. Because it's not like a normal tag team in my eyes. They tag in at different points to do stuff together that is kind of weird, but cool in a sense.
Yeah, though I think that the big point with the Woken Universe is their crowd interaction, and it just really wasn't there.
And they didn't try to... Did they even try to get it there?
Yeah, of course, they did all the stuff that they normally would do. It's just...
Okay, I
think it just didn't fly with the Saudi Arabian crowd as much.
So, and was it worth it?
In the long run, I wouldn't say so.
No. I wouldn't think too much either.
It was okay, but just it wasn't really good enough. It wasn't the greatest, and if you're thinking the greatest Royal Rumble, that's what you kind of want.
Right.
Next up, we had the United States Championship match between Jeff Hardy and Jinder Mahal. Jeff Hardy is the champion, and he ended up retaining.
Yeah. Yeah. This match, I was talking to Issa. And Issa said he really enjoyed it, and because he watched it before we did the Greatest Royal Rumble, and when I was watching it, it was pretty good. It was fast paced. It went back and forth a lot. They had a couple of mishaps here and there, but I thought it was overall really good.
Yeah, I think it will be remembered more for its botches than anything else. So I mean, it still really wasn't worth it that much. You know, like
The bot, yeah, I kind of forgot about the botches there for a second. Now that I look back on it, yeah, when there were wrestling parts, they were really good in my eyes. But like you said, the botches are gonna take over. So is it worth it?
I mean,
I can't say yes or no really to this because the wrestling was so good when there was wrestling in my eyes that there's too many botches.
yeah, I mean, it's a good thing to remember. This isn't one of the TV shows. To get this, you have to get the network. So you have to think the idea of what I paid the network to get this, and you kind of judge it differently when looking at that and when looking at pay-per-views.
Right. Yeah.
So it was okay, just not.
Fully worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Next,
agree.
Let me just make sure. Yeah. Next is the SmackDown Tag Team Championships between the Bludgeon Brothers and the Usos.
You want me to go first? Or you?
I can go first. This was I thought it was pretty good, better than their last one at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because while there was still a lot of dominance and a lot of storytelling about how powerful the Bludgeon Brothers were, the Usos still got a lot of stuff in and still got some momentum.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of AJ versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
In that same regard.
Mm-hmm. It was a good match. I did like how the Usos did get a little bit of momentum in this match because it does show that, yeah, two of them can take it on. But maybe if we add the New Day or we add another team to help out, maybe you can tackle them together. It helps out with the storyline. This match. You kind of have to know the storyline to get what they were doing with this match. It was good that they were keeping them strong though. I did like how they came back and won the match. It was really good. Bludgeon Brothers are just a great tag team. It was a great storytelling match.
Yeah, I think
like
for the story that they're trying to set, it worked really well for that. So that's why I would say it's worth it.
Yes.
And you would say it's worth it. Yeah.
Yes, I would definitely say it's worth it. Not just because I like the Bludgeon Brothers now, but because also it was storytelling. So.
Yeah, and the Bludgeon Brothers retained.
Yes, they did.
Next, we'll go on to the Intercontinental Title Championship match, which was a ladder match with the champion Seth Rollins facing off against The Miz, Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe.
Oh, yes, okay. Yeah, this match was pretty good. I did like it. Samoa Joe did some things I didn't think he could do it being that big. But I liked it. Everybody got their spots to do something.
Yeah.
The Miz got to do something. Everybody got to do something. That's why I kind of say it's worth it. I always look at these type of the triple threat matches, the 4-way matches. Always look at it to see if everybody gets a chance to do something in the match, and they did. So that's why I say it's worth it.
Yeah, I would say that unlike a lot of other ladder matches, it doesn't pertain itself to a lot of high flying spots. It's a lot more of brutally attacking people or with the ladder or landing the ladder on top of them, doing a lot of stuff like that. So it's a kind of more refreshing, I guess you can take on ladder matches. Yeah. And the story that they were telling between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor was also really good.
Okay, I don't know.
Possibly, I mean, the idea that Finn was very close to getting the championship, then Seth Rollins came in the last second and took it away from him.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that would go well with the storyline.
Yeah, setting up their singles feud together.
Yeah.
And maybe a return of the Demon Finn Balor.
Nice.
Because that's how he had to take out Seth Rollins.
Yep. Because Seth his face.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So I thought it was worth it.
Yes, very much so worth it. Yeah, already.
The next is the WWE Championship match with AJ Styles, the champion, versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Wanna go?
Sure. I thought this was a really good match. I thought it was better than their WrestleMania one, if only for the point that you play off the fact that Nakamura is now heel compared to being face versus face, so there's a new dynamic to it, and allows Nakamura to kind of do more things and be more, I guess, Nakamura-ish.
I think he was supposed to always be a heel. Just with his style of wrestling, it just came out to me of him being a heel. Like, he was always, to me, he was always cocky. He's like, come on, you know.
Yeah,
but he always played the face.
And that's stuff that you can't do that he didn't really do against AJ Styles, at least not that I remember, or the like stomach taunt thing that he does, where he puts his head on the person's stomach and all.
Oh yeah, okay.
But you can do that more now because he's the heel in this dynamic. It did end in a double count out,
Which was kind of sad to see.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see it go further, but I was kind of hoping that they would have Nakamura win via some type of heel tactic, get the title change, and just kind of.
And they did.
And still keep AJ Styles, in there.
We're not gonna say what the heel tactic move was, so y'all can watch it. But there was some kind of heel tactic while the ref, AJ Styles ran into the ref, and right after that, something happened. So.
Is it gonna be really that surprising though?
No, you've probably seen it pretty. Okay, I'll just say he low blowed him like the rest of the time. So
yeah,
I guess that's his heel move now.
That's just his gimmick.
Yeah,
he's a Shinsuke Nutcrackamora.
Like you said at Backlash, you're just waiting for everybody to come out, and he's just gonna low blow everybody, right?
Yeah,
all the NXT people.
That's what I want to see at one of his entrants. A whole bunch of people dressed up as AJ Styles and just low blow him right up together. Then AJ Styles comes out and they're still on the ground, like writhing in pain.
That would be cool.
Yes. But anyways, and you already said that you thought it was worth it, right?
Yes, it was worth it.
Okay. Next was the Undertaker versus Rusev in a casket match. And I guess you have some strong opinions here.
Rusev did put up a fight, I do have to say. I do watch SmackDown, so I know a lot about Rusev.
He was probably in there longer than John Cena at WrestleMania. So
that is true. That is true. Right.
So that means he's technically better than John Cena. So.
And it looks like we might see The Undertaker more than just once a year, which I would like to see. If he fights like this, The Undertaker, I mean, I just don't want to see The Undertaker come in, do a few moves, and win. I want to actually see him fight. And I don't know the 2009 Undertaker, but a lot of people say he really fought when he was in WWE in 2009. So, it was a really good match. Rusev, they don't let Rusev win, but they still let Rusev have good matches, which I do like. So it did go back and forth a lot, and yes, it was worth it.
Yeah, I thought it was a little short for me, and I thought they could have gone more, maybe extreme with some of the spots.
Mm-hmm.
A little more, hardcore, I guess. And, one of the signature things with big Undertaker matches a lot of times at WrestleMania is, of course, multiple finishers and people just breaking out of it. I wouldn't mind seeing, Rusev kind of bust out, like maybe get hit by a tombstone pile driver, try to get put into the coffin and stops the Undertaker before he can close it,
Right.
just to make him look stronger. But it was, fine for what it was. But
Was it really worth it?
Yeah, I guess I would say it's worth it because it's a little more than just your average match.
Okay, cool. So we both agree it's worth it.
Yeah, but just slightly more.
Yeah.
Thought it could have been better, but
Yeah.
Next we had the Universal Championship match. Brock Lesnar, the champion, versus Roman Reigns, the big dog, versus the Beast. And
The
Steel Cage.
ending was a little controversial because you're supposed to have both feet hit the ground. Escape either pinfall submission or escape via both feet hitting the ground. Brock Lesnar gets...
And they talk about that a lot in the beginning of the match.
They do.
Bringing that up, saying both feet have to hit the ground.
Yeah, and Brock Lesnar gets speared into one of the pieces of the cage, and it breaks, and they both hit the ground.
Both fall out.
They both fall out, and when Brock Lesnar's back hits the floor with the cage on top of the cage, they say he wins. I don't know how, because then Roman Reigns rolls over and both feet hit the ground before Brock Lesnar does. It was just a stupid ending. Is it good for storytelling? Possibly. I don't really watch Raw, so I don't know where the story's going. But it could be good for storytelling.
It's, very tiresome. You just.
How many times we're gonna see this, right?
Yeah, and it's just I'm getting tired of both guys really. Well, both guys in this match. I mean, Roman Reigns can have good matches with other people. It's just in this match, definitely they don't have that great of matches. I definitely wouldn't say it doesn't go as long as the one at WrestleMania.
Maybe. Oh no, definitely not.
So it definitely didn't feel as terrible as that one was.
Right.
But,
And the thing with Brock Lesnar matches is it's suplexes, and that's about it, and a little bit of fighting.
Yeah, so you get
Not much.
suplexes, Superman punches, and spears, and that's about it. And
That's
then-
just like the guy in WrestleMania told me that was sitting next to me.
and then it goes through a cage.
I mean, it's great to see it the first couple of times, but now we've seen it, 5 or 6 times now
Yeah,
for matches? I mean, please move on, WWE. I would like it. So no, I'm tired, too tired of it to say it was worth it.
yeah. I'm also too tired of it. So I won't say it's worth it. And then after that, we finally get to the greatest Royal Rumble. So, and I mean, we're not going to bother going through all 50 men in here.
No,
but we will say that Braun
can
Strowman.
we say some of the, you want to say some of the surprise entrances that you remember?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to say any big entrances, yeah.
Hornswoggle came back.
Yeah,
and,
Hornswoggle.
and Hornswoggle, that's his first time being eliminated. You said he's never been eliminated before.
The only other time he was ever in the Royal Rumble, he got thrown out, but caught by Finley, and then just kind of carried to the back. So technically, he never hit the ground.
They had a sumo wrestler come in.
Yeah.
Mark Henry, not really surprised, but he's not really wrestling anymore. That's
Great Khali.
The Great Khali did come back. We haven't seen him since they said since the Randy Orton feud, so.
Yeah, Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal.
Oh, that's been a long time.
Punjabi prison match.
But overall, Daniel Bryan stayed in for over almost an hour and 20 minutes, I would say.
I know the point that they said he broke the record was at an hour and 5 minutes.
It was an hour and,
But he was in there a good bit after that, too.
I think an hour and 2 minutes was the record.
Hour and 2 minutes was the record. I'm saying when they said.
No, right, yeah.
When Michael Cole made the announcement how he broke the record, it was at the hour
and
5 minutes
so,
mark.
yeah.
But he still stayed in there for quite a while.
So this match almost probably went an hour and a half at least. Or maybe not that long.
An hour, I think he was maybe in there like an hour 10, hour 15 at the most.
But the match lasted like an hour and a half, or an hour and 20
It
minutes.
only lasted a few minutes after that,
okay.
really.
Yeah, right.
Because it was just Braun and Big Cass.
Okay, that's
Braun
I
Strowman
forgot.
is the winner here.
Yeah, Braun Strowman
So I
did.
think that's a really good pick for, to win.
Yeah, because he's a big guy, and Vince likes big guys. And
But he's one of the most over guys in there.
And
so.
it was worth it because Shane McMahon makes an appearance too. Kurt Angle makes a big appearance. Walk with Elias, he eliminates 3 people at once. It was just great.
There was a lot of good in-ring action.
Yeah.
More than a
I
lot of
agree.
Royal Rumbles still. It wasn't as much just, pushing people in the corner like a lot of Rumbles become. And they had a lot of great pairing offs. One of the best I thought was, Kurt Angle versus Daniel Bryan. That's one of those things we never thought we would see. So to see it in the match was really great chance. And you had storylines, Kevin Owens coming out and then being followed by, some of his past ghosts, Shane McMahon and then Chris Jericho coming out.
Chris Jericho, that was
after him. That was a really great moment, Kevin Owens' reaction and everything.
Oh yeah, I even liked that when they had the feud. That was Chris Jericho's not too much in shape, but for what he did, he looked pretty good, I guess.
And I love the fact that Kevin Owens just screamed at him, "Why don't you go back to Japan?" when he's come down to the ring. So it was all great in there.
Yeah.
And there was just a lot of other really great moments. So I thought it was really good. It's difficult to say the greatest Royal Rumble, but it was definitely a very good one.
Yes, it was one of. I've seen a few Royal Rumbles, and it's one of my favorites just because, like Liam said, it's not a lot of just, here we go, 40 men, or this one's 50, but it's mostly 40 men, and we just throwing over 30 of them, and then 10 of them fight. No, it was more of like probably 3/4 of the people got to actually fight in the match, and that's what I like to see in a big match like that. And it was just cool how they used when you had one part of the ring doing this, one part of the ring doing this, and it wasn't just eliminations, you know, it was one part of the ring, you had Shane McMahon flying to another part of the ring. And, you know, he tried to do it again, and then you had Braun Strowman throw him into the announcer's table. So it was just great to see the match. And I think Saudi Arabia people got their money's worth.
Well, I mean,
Even though the tickets weren't that expensive.
the tickets were $5 in Arabian, money.
And you got a free drink with that,
Yes.
too. So
I mean,
Yeah.
they definitely got their tickets worth. But I mean, I think everyone, it was definitely worth it.
yeah, the whole overall, I'd give it about, I'd say, actually, an A+. Actually, the matches themselves were good, but some of the endings I didn't like. But for storytelling purposes and all the matches were good, so I give it an A+.
Yeah, I think it was a mixed bag. At some points, it didn't feel like it went all in with this. I guess because I didn't think it was as a real pay-per-view, But at other points, it did really have some high points, with the cruiserweight match and the ladder match,
Right.
and the Royal Rumble match. So they just have some high points there.
Yep. And it
So-
was like Liam said, there was a couple matches in there where they were bad, but there was more good matches than bad matches.
Not necessarily bad, but just more underwhelming.
Okay, yeah.
Or
All right.
more like average.
Okay.
I don't think anything was really that terrible. Just average,
Okay, cool. So, yeah, please check us out on our podcast from 1 to 2 Central every Sunday. Give us those sexy likes.
And the unsexy ones.
Subscribe so you know when we go live.
Well, subscribe.
Subscribe. Hit the notification so you know when we go live. And you can check out Liam at...
You check me out on Twitter at Liam_SWA.
And you can just check me out on our YouTube page. I'll get one someday. I know
Twitter.
it's the 21st century, but sorry, SWA Universe, sorry. But until next time, have fun.